During the third millennia, in a strange place known as the United States of America, a war was brewing. Brainwashed Marxist idiots in colleges across the nation clashed with equally brainwashed, anime-obsessed neo-Nazis. Starbucks windows were shattered, Dodge Challengers were totaled, and Muslims realized that rental vans were cheaper than plane tickets. Skinny, anemic millennials from coast to coast were hospitalized with life-changing injuries such as sprains and first-degree burns. And the heroic knights of 4chan rose up to defeat Shia LaBeouf and drive the evil villain into a descent towards a madness the likes from which he would never recover. As the enemies of freedom destroy the cities that raised them, as America begins to resemble an Iron Maiden album come to life, two heroes have risen up to fight against the culture of utter madness and restore sanity the only way they know how, by refusing to take any of it seriously. Mersh.
And I said, hey, oi, let's chop your penis off. Oi, can I have my penis back? Why do you have dreadlocks, you white oppressor?
Royce Lopez.
Always be aborting. A always be aborting. Always be aborting.
Breaking news.
Breaking news,
You're
guys.
hearing it only on our show first. Apparently Donald Trump has worked out a deal. He will get the wall. Unfortunately, it's going to be a rock climbing wall.
Oh, no! The other side's going to be a slide. You climb the wall up and you just
lands into a nice, clean, chlorinated pool. And then you immediately get a welfare check. Fucking A.
Oh, shit. He was a boy, he went to girl, now he wants to be a boy again.
Oh, God, just stay a girl if you're going to be this indecisive.
I think Caitlyn Jenner's a handsome woman with a great penis. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trannies. I just don't want to put that one's cock in my mouth.
Bound forever by their mutual love of smoking marijuana, Simpsons references and affection towards Alex Jones, these two men have joined forces to bring you uncut news and opinions directly from the belly of the beast. Saving Western civilization one childish dick joke at a time, here they are, your new heroes of the Imperium, Mersh and Royce Lopez.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thursday afternoon revenge of the Cis. Your number one source for all XFL-related news. I am Mersh, a.k.a. He Hate Me, and by he, I mean the shareholders. And, of course, the man who just of an hour ago handed in his application as offensive coordinator for the Orlando Rage, Royce Lopez.
Offensive coordinator and quarterbair.
Yeah,
It's a small budget.
They
It's a
do
small
not
budget.
have a lot of money to do this. So, but hey, you know, that's good. A lot of camera time.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, if you're the offensive coordinator and the quarterback, you're basically just Tom Brady, to be fair. Yeah, we're going to have a nice show for you today. We're going to be joined by Agluck in the second hour. He's a good pal of ours. I've popped on a few of his streams before.
Very excited for that.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy. I've had a lot of long talks with that dude. So, yeah, tell your friends. Invite. Get people in the chat room. Twitch.tv/we're not sorry. As they say across the pond, come have a moan with us.
Yeah.
Let's complain. This will be our last show this week. We are off tomorrow. Things going on.
Yeah. I mean, going on a quick little weekend getaway.
Yeah, people have shit to do.
Yeah.
Royce is going to have a getaway. I'm going to have a getaway in my mind.
Yep.
Probably with vodka. And then, you know, hit the old reset button, as they say. It's been a long week.
Yeah, no, it's been exhausting, I guess is the best word. Exhausting. But yes, we want to talk about what just happened at 3 p.m.
I bet this is, oh no. Did you mean 3 p.m. via, like, circa 1998?
No, this is from today.
Oh, no.
The new XFL will kick off in 2020, and quite frankly, we're going to give the game of football back to fans. I'm sure everyone has a lot of questions for me, but I also have a lot of questions
Get this nigga
for
a
you.
lozenge.
In fact, we're going to ask a lot of questions and listen to players coaches, we're going to listen to medical experts, technology executives, members of the media, and anyone else who understands and loves the game of football. But most importantly, we're going to be listening to fans. So I would ask that, the question of what would you do if you could reimagine the game of professional football? Would you, for instance, eliminate halftime? Would you have fewer commercial breaks? Would the game of football be...
Listen,
You're going to have
one
fewer
thing-
commercial breaks.
Thank you.
But it's not because you choose to.
Exactly. One thing I can assure you is that when you stack up the XFL to the NFL, oh boy, will you have less commercial breaks, I'm sure.
100%.
They're called, by the way, Vince, nice spin, but we call that less ad buys.
faster? Would the rules be simpler? The new XFL will be...
Will Opie and
fan-centric.
Anthony host the pregame show.
One of them's definitely available
Can we do it from a restaurant?
with shitty Wi-Fi.
Can I have a Cuban chef with me?
With all the things you like to see and less of the things you don't. And no doubt, a lot of innovations along the way.
So wait, white guys playing a game?
Present a shorter, faster paced, family friendly, and easier to understand game.
I mean, football's pretty easy to understand. I wouldn't say it's hard to understand.
Vinnie Mac, don't do this. You can still pull out of this and only lose like maybe 20, 30 mil and get, in commitments, but just don't do this. You're already, dude, come on, man. Do you understand the only reason he survived the massive failure that was XFL 1.0 was because he did it at the height, the peak of not only pro wrestling's popularity, but the WWE's popularity. They saw heights at that time that they never saw before and will never see again. They were moving a lot of Austin 316 shirts. That's what paid for your failed WWE New York and your XFLs and all your other failed ventures. It was not fucking, the XFL wasn't that big of a failure. No, it was hundreds of millions of dollars. The only thing that saved you was Stone Cold Steve Austin's dumb shirts.
I agree that it's not going to succeed. I will make this. I want it to succeed. I want it to do well. Yeah. Don't you?
But he doesn't have...
No, I guess I agree with you. It's not, but I'm asking you a different question. Do you want it to succeed? Not is it going to? Are the odds against him?
The private market, the guy in me that's still part libertarian, the guy that knows that competition always creates innovation and better products.
Monday Night Wars.
Monday Night Wars. Look at car companies. Look at how cheap compared to the old days. Like, you get a good car now, for a pretty good price because a lot of competition is always good for the product. Sure, I want it to succeed.
That's all I was asking. I'm with you on everything else. I don't think it's going to do well. I was just curious.
But it's not going to succeed.
I get it.
This is a disaster. He does not have he doesn't have 6 months of Rock versus Austin house shows going on. Like, he doesn't. This is not good. Okay, because we watched WWE recently, okay? AJ Styles and like Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows ain't gonna pay the bills this time. This is not the Attitude Era.
Don't get me wrong, it's still football, but it's professional football reimagined. Since we're launching in 2020, we have 2 years, which is plenty of time to really get it right.
This is not only football, it's football that already failed once. You know when they say definition of insanity, something?
Yeah.
Come on, Vince.
We intend to start conservatively with 8 teams, 40-man rosters.
So exactly like last time. So you're going to do the same thing again.
Well, they have a fucking warehouse full of merchandise, and now they can sell again.
The same thing. It's the same thing.
Well,
What is he doing?
It's not going to have the gimmicky stuff, not the scrum for the football anymore and any of that stuff.
Oh, yeah, so it's fixed.
Game regular season.
How's that different than the NFL?
This fucking... This is one of those things that like would just make you as a shareholder go, look, man, we all need to band together and get this crazy old man the fuck out of here before he kills all of our dividends.
Season and postseason featuring 2 semifinals and, of course, a championship game.
Hey, Vince. Hi, how you doing? Mike Shilley, shareholder. I was just curious. The Q3 numbers were not that great last year, and I was just wondering if maybe it would be better to allow dividend payments out to your shareholders instead of investing in something that's already failed once before. No chance!
That's what you got.
No chance in hell! You fucking retard. This is going to fucking crash and burn. So spectacular.
Now, what about the players? As you know, there's a wealth of talented players that we can draw from, but in the XFL,
Rod
the
Smart.
quality-
You going to get Rod Smart back?
At least Colin Kaepernick will have a team to play for.
Is Jesse Ventura going to do commentary again?
Then you're just selling it. JR and Jesse Ventura should do it. I'd watch it.
See, JR I can see, though, because he likes football.
Right.
Like, JR's not it's not going to be a guy that's like, oh, man, over my head. Like, he would, JR probably sounds like a football announcer when he's on his couch talking to his buddies, watching a game. You know what I mean? Like, he probably is one of those guys. Well, I mean, when you're going to run a pattern like that, of course, obviously, defense going to have an advantage. I mean, you're going to be like, all right, JR, just, go make some more barbecue sauce. Relax.
of the human being is going to be as important as the quality of the player.
Mr. McMahon, are the Birmingham Thunderbolts going to come back?
Orlando Predators, baby. Orlando Predators.
It was the Orlando Rage.
Rage?
Yeah,
the Predators is the arena football team.
Yeah, no, it's the Orlando Rage.
Oh, God, there's still arena football, too.
Arena football is kind of cool, though. It's not, It's just weird when you go to watch a game and you don't care about any of the people. It's like UFC. UFC has that problem. Mm-hmm. They'll book a super fight, and you're like, all right, I'll watch, this guy. I'll watch GSP versus some other guy. But it's like the whole card is full of just nobodies, and you don't care about them. And some guys are like, 15-5. You know what I mean? And they're just like, you're like, I don't care about this guy.
I do feel bad sometimes when Rogan has to sell a fight that he even knows is bad,
No, these are two hungry young fighters, man. They both want this. By the way, whenever you're a competitor in something with another guy and you're both being referred to as hungry young guys who both really want this, that means there's nothing notable about you.
No.
Are the San Francisco Demons gonna be a playoff team again?
Who won? Who was the winner of the first XFL?
I believe it was Los Angeles.
Los Angeles? All right. Well, I have to look this up now. Is He Hate Me going to come back?
It was Los Angeles. They won the $1 million game.
How much did they win in that, Mike?
$1 million.
What?
For the whole team.
So it's not just a clever name.
For a whole football team.
Was it really?
It was like they had to split it.
Well, that's not a lot of money.
That's not even. Do you understand that is not even going to get you one tight end in the NFL? Do you understand? You could not get the services of a medium tier tight end from the NFL for $1 million a year.
Where are they going to get their players from?
Fucking prisons and things like that.
He should have just called it The Longest Yard.
I would have watched it.
Yeah.
If he just did a prison football league, I would have watched that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he could have gotten all kinds of tax breaks. The government would have loved it because they would have gotten a taste. And fucking convicts. And no, I'm not saying, rapists and murderers. We're not going to glorify those people. But there's a lot of armed robbers and other dudes that will fucking beat the shit out of you that I would like to see play some football.
That's fair.
Approach to presenting games will be multi-platform, which will allow us to engage fans and
Which actually
customize
means
the
they'll be
viewing
played
experience in ways
on multiple platforms. New gimmick. We're actually going to hang a football up on a pole, and everybody's got to wrestle for it and get the football.
I'm going to grease up the pole, too. Make it really difficult.
You think they're going to have they should do their $1 million game this although it's inflation. It should be at least a $5 million game
right.
now. they should do a cage around the field.
I like that.
Yeah. And
Like
then
right on the where the outside lines would be.
Yeah, and then you have like Kane comes out, he rips the cage door off, and he helps one of the teams, and they're like, "No way!"
Is that were never imaginable just a few years ago. You'll be able to watch the XFL on big screens, mobile devices, and everything in between.
All right, now, dude, you're really digging to sell us on. That's when you're already bragging about how many devices you can watch something on. It's not a good product.
Yeah.
You could even get it on a phone, or, I mean, you could view it on technically anything. I mean, even one of those old tube televisions, if you can find an adapter.
Jesus, Vince.
Thank you again for joining us. We appreciate your interest, and if you have any ideas, please send them along our way because we are listening.
And join us for our
XFL
kickoff
will be-
game this season. The New York, New Jersey Hitmen versus the Memphis Maniacs with an X.
I don't think it's going to do that well.
It's gonna be so bad. And honestly, even if you said, "Look, I get that I fucked up with the XFL, but I'm getting back into football. We're not gonna call it the XFL though. Like it's just." Nigga, you would have been better off calling that shit WCW and having football.
Agluck in the chat says the team could be called the Seattle Beta Cucks.
That would be Seattle Soy Boys, I think.
The Seattle Soy Boys. There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, you got to go with Berkeley Beta Cucks, though. Berkeley could get a team. You got to go with the Bees, and you got to go with I like Seattle Soy Boys. But they all have the fucking same glasses, and they all have the same expression in the team photo.
Can we? This video has no audio,
Oh yes,
but
this guy is the motherfucking truth.
so we will try to narrate for you. This 30 seconds, and it's probably the best bar fight in America.
Quickest one. These guys walking.
He's
right?
walking. He's got a beer in his hand, and he's got like a takeaway food.
Yeah,
in the
one of
other
those
hand.
typical black styrofoam containers that you would get at a restaurant. Like you throw your wings in to take home, and he's got a beer in his right hand, food in his left hand, just walking. Regular white guy, long hair, ball cap.
Right.
This chick
Tries to smack the thing out of his hand.
misses multiple times, by the way. Okay, so let's narrate this. This chick, the small, cute blonde, comes up, starts going ham on old dude, swatting at his food desperately, but missing every swat. I mean, this guy's one hand holding with each thing, and he's still managing to make it avoid her. After about the third or fourth swat, homeboy gets tired of it, and with all his might, he swings and smashes the styrofoam container of food right in this bitch's
I don't know.
face.
What did Chris Stanley do to her? Like, he's a nice guy. Shout out to High Society. I love you, by the way.
Poor fucking Chris Stanley.
Poor Pepper.
Just wanted to have a bite to eat. He left alone.
But tell me that's what he looks like.
But this motherfucker was straight up. He basically told this bitch, "Here, have some wings, bitch." And fucking, you like ranch or blue cheese, bitch?
Oh, and she fell. Hit her right in her bit. One more. Sorry. Right in her bitch face.
Just fucking her hair is just fucking wing sauce and celery sticks. Just
It's like, here, you want it? Have it.
look. And she falls out like she falls over the bar stools. It's a fucking shit show. Oh my god, I laughed like 3 times watching this morning. Oh shit. I'm sorry there's no sound, folks.
Yeah.
But it's really funny. If you guys tell you what, good plug. If you guys are one of the people that listens to us on podcast form only, how about this? You take a moment today and you go on over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Revenge of the Sis. Subscribe and check out our latest episode, which is episode 70, and watch this bitch get her comeuppance with a face full of wings.
I got music for it. I'm going to help.
Like, no, and bow!
Bye, bitch.
You fucking had that shit coming, you dumb broad. That is fucking. By the way, man, you want to talk about privilege? Fucking women have privilege, man, and I love when somebody just gives them their comeuppance. They're gonna fucking bow up on this guy.
I never want to stop watching this. Do you understand? I never want to stop watching.
Do it
this.
again. Do it again. You know, without the music, I just want to watch. He's walking. She comes at him all hard, trying to be all bad, and then here, have a snack. You look hungry, bitch. Listen, I do not look. Generally speaking, folks, I don't condone hurting or hitting or harming women.
Unless your dinner's cold.
But I am absolutely advocating guys like this flinging their wings into a bitch like this. Is like a girl like this deserves to get a hot fucking styrofoam container full of nachos beamed off of her face for acting like that. And maybe she'll come correct next time. Get that weak shit out of my house.
I kind of want to see it again.
Of course I want to.
I'm sorry. Guys, I apologize. We will get to more show. But I don't think I haven't found something this funny in a while.
It's amazing. SWAT.
Order 45 to go.
Bing! He should have a little bell. Oh my God. Just.
Whoop.
Fucking.
Oh!
And I love, honestly, look at how he casually sips his beer and walks away. This motherfucker gave her an old whoop, 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 and then he's like, fuck out of my face, bitch. watch. And then he's like this, look, watch. And then he's like, I'm out. Sippy, sip. Got some foam on my beer. That dude is my hero.
Oh, fuck.
Listen, this is not about a woman or a man hitting a woman. This is about somebody.
That's just a bonus to all this.
This is about somebody being slick, thinking they're tough, and getting their comeuppance. You don't fucking. Women have this thing, man, where they like bitches.
It's called the vagina.
And they really think they can get away with some shit.
Because of it. No, I'm being serious. They think they have just a fucking credit card to walk up and knock some dude's delicious hot wings out of his hands. You don't get to do that.
And that looks like a pretty nice bar.
Yeah.
Assume they probably have nice crispy
That's what
wings.
Mike says. Usually when it's in a black box, when you're taking it away, it's usually from the food's good. If it's in a white container, then it's shitty food.
But look at the bar top, too.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a nice bar top.
Professionally built bar. It's not like some dive bar where he's getting, you know what I mean, wings out of a Fry Daddy.
Bar Rescue just left that place.
And it's, because it looks kind of dead and they don't have mats out either. So it looks like it's really nice, but it's kind of dead. So maybe it was a Bar Rescue one.
Poor John Taffer. Is he still alive? Do we know anything about John Taffer?
Yeah, I think he died 2 years ago, but the cocaine just keeps
him going. He's basically a White Walker now. Okay, last time, and then for real, we're gonna go do the rest of the show. Whoop. Shut up, bitch. All
right. Makes me so happy. You got exactly what the fuck was coming to you, you smug asshole.
Speaking of someone getting what the fuck was coming to her.
She just fucking... It's just replaying in my head.
I know.
Sorry.
It's like there's no sound. It's like those old Nickelodeons where you have to turn the thing.
Oh God, those Viewmasters.
Yep.
Terrible.
All right.
Who's this thirsty ass motherfucker?
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson, that's right. I couldn't see. He's like drinking. I'm like, who's this? Oh yeah, that's
Jordan Peterson. Or he could easily play Egon if they do a Ghostbusters.
He really could, man.
Yeah.
He'd be a good Egon.
And then this bitch.
And then this fucking Shih Tzu haired bitch.
This Kathy bitch from Channel 4, I believe.
Of course, her name's Kathy.
What does that mean? Is that like a typical bitch name?
Kathy.
All right. Let's just watch the back and forth here.
That's been very controversial for you. And this is, you got in trouble for refusing to call trans men and women by their preferred personal pronouns.
No,
I want to
that's
ask-
not actually true. I got in trouble because I said I would not follow the compelled speech dictates of the federal and provincial government. I actually never got in trouble for not calling anyone anything.
Right.
That didn't happen.
You wouldn't follow the change of law, which was designed
Not
to
once it was
outlaw
law.
discrimination.
No.
Why
Yeah, well,
should
that's
your
Why is British Amy Poehler so mad at him? I,
know,
don't
right?
understand.
I hate her crimped hair.
Oh.
But also, can I ask an honest question about Jordan B. Peterson?
Sure.
Is this nigga dying?
I think he's always looked that way.
Holy shit, he looks like a corpse.
I think
he looks like a fucking, he was summoned by a necromancer.
I think you're right. He really does.
He looks like he was either, he looks like he's either a or he's a fucking, he was just up doing fucking crushed oxycontins all night.
No, like I said, one of those born vampires, not one that turned, is what he looks like.
One of the original ones.
Right.
If you kill Jordan B. Peterson, then all the other vampires
Die.
turn back to
all
normal.
the ones he turned and subsequent, it's
they
like a
turn
pyramid
back to
scheme.
normal.
Right. Well, let's watch him suck the life out of this bitch.
Because
Nigga looks like he sleeps in a coffin. Like, you're not wrong. This lecherous motherfucker. I'm sorry. Keep going.
trouble for not calling anyone anything.
Right.
That didn't
you
happen.
wouldn't follow the change of law, which was designed
Not
to
once it was
outlaw
law.
discrimination.
No.
Why
Yeah, well,
should
that's
your...
what they said it was designed to do.
Okay, you cited freedom of speech in that. Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now.
Look, now he looks like a corpse. He speaks like Dr. Manhattan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not a
does.
fucking normal man at all.
No, I don't think
Jordan
he
B.
is.
Peterson is the guy that would say, alive or dead, there's no more or less particles in a dead or alive human body. You'd be like, what?
Actually, every time he's not debating, he's just sitting on Mars by himself.
Fucking weaponized autism. Seriously, sleeping in a coffin.
Yeah.
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
Well, I'm very glad I put you on the spot.
Well,
I'm
you
very
get
glad that I have
but you get
exercised my freedom of
point.
speech.
You get my point. It's like you're doing what you should do, which is digging a bit to see what the hell's going on.
So
and
do
that is
you-
what you should do. But
And
you're
you
exercising
think-
your freedom of speech to certainly risk offending me. And that's fine. I think more power to you as far as I'm concerned.
So you haven't sat there and I'm just trying to work that out. I mean,
Ha.
He just slapped the wings in her face.
We have said on this show before, sometimes people on the left have these moments like
Yeah.
the robots in Westworld.
Yep.
Where they just kind of go like, and then they shut down. Like,
Yeah.
this is one of those. He broke her.
She didn't have her paradox buffer installed.
And, you know, when I see all you, all you internet trolls and stuff, and look, there are some masterful ones, but then there's the ones that just scream and put swastikas up and scream Nazi shit. It's like, yeah.
Shout out to Blake Luca.
No, but even Blake's way more
I know,
reasonable.
but I give him
but the
plugs because
people-
I like him.
But the people in his chat, however.
Oh, boy.
But, like, that's how you destroy the left. You do it by being polite, being like,
You're right.
Here's how you're retarded. And they go like, yeah, but hi, and then I, and then you then, and then I broke, and then you hi, and then hi. It's like fucking bolts and springs and fucking steam starts coming out.
If you slow it down, you can see the exact moment her heart breaks. Okay. Hold on.
I'm just trying to work that out.
Of course.
I want the
When
whole
she started
silence.
breaking?
Yeah.
Sure.
But
And
you're
you
exercising
think-
your freedom of speech to certainly risk offending me. And that's fine.
Right here.
I think more power to you as far as I'm concerned.
So you haven't sat there and I'm just trying to work that out. I mean,
Ha, gotcha.
you have
What a cunt.
Here's your wings.
I got you.
You dumb bitch. Holy fuck.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Dude, by the way, this chick is fucking done. Like, that's it. You've now, every time you're up for that big job, the big seat, they're going to play that clip. And they're going to be like, this bitch can't handle herself. Not against the big boys.
She, just a tiny bit more.
got me. You have got me. I'm trying to work
about
that through in
time.
my head. Yeah, it took a while.
It did, yeah.
Took a while. You have voluntarily come into this studio and agreed to be questioned. A trans person in your class has come to your class and said they want to be called
That's never
she.
happened.
He's so autistic.
He is,
love
and I
him.
think it's awesome.
I love how autistic he is, because it's just there is no because the left, the entire basis of the left is feelings and well, what if, abortion, but what in the case of when a father rapes his daughter and she gets pregnant at 10, and you're like, okay, in the 1 in every 50 years times that happens, we'll let it happen, but you use that as a precursor, and it's the same thing with this shit. You use this one extreme scenario as a precursor to something, and she does that, and he's like, yeah, it's a hypothetical.
It's time for a Channel 4 news break, dance break.
C4 style. What? C4 style. Hey, sexy newsroom. You know what?
And now back to our regularly scheduled debate on Channel 4. What's the problem? Other news stations don't have dance breaks? What's the problem?
What did I just watch?
You watched her doing Gangnam Style. I'm sorry, that was pretty
I
self-explanatory.
legitimately thought for a second that I was having a stroke or dying.
No.
And I was like, because I'm an imaginative fella.
Yes.
I just figured maybe my brain was releasing all the DMT and I was dying. And I was just like, ew, what the fuck was that?
And I would call them she.
So you would. So you've kind of changed your tune on that.
No, I said that right from the beginning. What I said at the beginning was that I was not going to cede the linguistic territory
This
to
dude needs some sun, man. Seriously.
Yeah, he does.
He needs to wear a pair of
Well, he
sunglasses.
lives in Canada.
Wear a pair of sunglasses on the air or something. He really genuinely, could you imagine if you were...
He looks like he's always just over a Coke bender. Like he's perpetually getting over one.
If you were playing a dead body as an extra in a scene in a movie, they would not even put makeup on you.
That is, he really does look like the George Romero Walking Dead.
Yeah, you don't look like you've been dead for a month, but you definitely look like you've been dead for like a day and a half, 2 days.
radical leftists, regardless of whether or not it was put in law. That's what I said.
You've also-
And then the people who came after me said, oh, you must be transphobic and you mistreat a student in your class. It's like, I never mistreated a student in my class. I'm not transphobic, and that isn't what I said.
Well, except you've also called trans campaigners authoritarian, haven't you? I mean, isn't that grossly...
Well, only in the broader context of my claims that radical leftist ideologues are authoritarian,
Yes,
which
but
they are.
You're saying someone who's trying to work out their gender identity, who may well have struggled with that, had quite a
No
tough
doubt
time
have
over the
struggled
years.
with it, yeah.
You're comparing them with, Chairman Mao, who...
Yes.
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 Because it's
I'll answer for you. Yes.
It's all Marxist degeneracy.
Yes.
We're saying it.
Yeah.
No, just the
saw
activists.
the deaths of millions of people. Well,
Just the
even if the
activists.
activists, they're trans people too. They have a right to say these things.
Yeah, but they don't have
Isn't
a
it
right to
grossly
speak for their whole community?
To compare them to Chairman Mao or, I could Pinochet, Augusto Pinochet. I mean, this is grossly offensive.
Lady, don't you fucking dare compare these little fucking girl penises with fucking the great Augusto Pinochet. How dare you?
He actually corrects her.
The inventor of the soft dictatorship, this bitch. Don't you ever disparage his name again.
I didn't compare them to Pinochet.
Well,
I did compare them to
he
Mao.
was an authoritarian.
He's a
wasn't he?
right-winger, though. I was comparing them to the left-wing totalitarians. And
Okay,
I do believe they are left-wing totalitarians.
Under Mao, millions of people died.
Right.
I mean, there's no comparison between Mao and a trans activist,
Yes, there is.
Why not?
Because trans activists aren't killing millions of people?
The philosophy that's guiding their utterances is the same philosophy.
He said basically what we said, but smarter. I mean, that's the same argument. It's true. It's the same thing.
You see, this is how you do an argument, guys. You don't have to scream about gassing people. You just do what he does.
Yeah. Just say no. No. Pay a little bit more than we'll.
The consequences are...
Not yet.
You're saying that trans activists
No.
could lead to the deaths of millions of people? What
No,
they're
I'm
doing-
saying that the philosophy that drives their utterances is the same philosophy that already has driven us to the deaths of millions of people.
Okay, tell us how that philosophy is in any way comparable.
Sure, that
They're both faggots. Is that one way?
Ladies and gentlemen, to this just in, Jordan B. Peterson is filing for asylum in America, political asylum.
that's no problem. The first thing is that the philosophy presumes that group identity is paramount. That's the fundamental philosophy that drove the Soviet Union and Maoist China. And it's the fundamental philosophy of the left-wing activists. It's identity politics. It doesn't matter who you are as an individual. It matters who you are in terms of your group identity.
You're just
That's
saying these
murderous-
things, though, to provoke.
You're just saying these things because you know I don't understand them, all right?
You know, it's like you, first of all, sir, you come on my show.
Microaggressions.
And then you read all of these books or whatever, and then you're going to mansplain to me. Look at this.
Time for a dance break.
Look at this. Look at this pinch-faced bitch.
C4 style.
Dance break.
What? C4 style.
You know, it's like,
Hey, sexy newsroom.
Sorry, go ahead.
you know, it's like, all right.
We should have done mushrooms before we came on the show.
I didn't do any mushrooms. Did you?
Oh,
did
no.
you put mushrooms in my food?
Surprise.
No. Look, man, you know how hard it is for me to not articulate something? This woman, this isn't even funny. Like, we watched a fucking video of like a rape cult dungeon family getting married by an Elvis impersonator, okay? And I laughed my fucking ass off, okay? Because in context, that's funny. This is like, you ever just feel really uncomfortable for someone? Like,
Yeah.
the douche chills in me right now are at levels I've never encountered before. I feel sorry for this woman.
Human Horror Show in the chat says more embarrassing than current Megyn Kelly. That's high level of embarrassment.
It is. At least Megyn Kelly's hot. Okay, let's do this.
Hey, Mike,
Cleanse the
come on.
palate.
Cleanse the palate.
Fuck
Miss
outta
Bo,
here.
get out of here with that shit.
The casual walk away is my favorite part, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck.
There was no moment of, oh, man, I didn't mean to hit you that hard, or you fell. Like, he was like, whap, and was like, I'm out of here. We'll finish my beer.
Fuck. All right. Oh, okay. Apparently there's trouble in the White House.
No way.
Solo Melania unexpectedly flies to West Palm Beach after abandoning plans to join her husband in Davos and visiting the Holocaust Museum alone in her first public appearance since Trump's alleged affair with Stormy Daniels was revealed.
Which was how long ago?
2013?
But, I mean, it was how long ago that it came out? Maybe 2 weeks?
2 weeks ago?
So she waited 2 weeks. Now she's taking off to Palm Beach.
Yeah. First Lady Melania Trump made her second and unannounced trip of the day, flying all the way to her family's Mar-a-Lago resort. Earlier Thursday, photos had surfaced at the United States Holocaust Museum, making her first outing since porn star Stormy Daniels was quoted alleging an affair and decided years ago with President Trump. Now, if you told me 5 years ago that a news article was going to have porn star, Holocaust Museum, and President Donald Trump in the same sentence, I would have laughed in your face and called you an idiot. But that literally is what I just read. That's the world we're living in, okay? Just so everybody knows, this is the world.
No, let's be clear. It's so everybody knows and everybody takes a moment so you can be grateful.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right? Biffco is fucking... You know what? That Biff future, the bad Biff future in Back to the Future, that's clown shoes compared to what we're living in. All right? I actually did see some history, and I don't know if you know this, but in the Wild West, it was Mad Dog Trump. The White House did not invite reporters to cover the First Lady's Holocaust Museum tour. Well, yeah, it's a Holocaust Museum tour. Nor was the press given any heads up about Melania's Trump travel plan to Florida. Maybe she's on her period. CNN broke the news that the First Lady's plans had arrived in West Palm Beach. Originally, the First Lady was supposed to accompany the president to Davos, Switzerland, for his appearance at the World Economic Forum today and tomorrow. I don't know, man. There could be a million other things. I really don't think. Look, let's be honest.
Okay, breaking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do I need breaking music?
No, but I just
got some.
I just want to.
I got some.
We've mentioned it on this show before. Remember, I was talking about how there's a company, certain entertainment company, that a certain executive has been pushing really hard for a merger between them and another entertainment company. Breaking news from CNBC. Viacom CEO Bob Bakish and CBS CEO Les Moonves have had exploratory discussion about merging the companies. Both boards expected to discuss at their next meetings.
Do you think this is preparing for the worst? Because if Les Moonves buys it, then that could actually save the brand, because it'd be like it's a new company now. They rebrand.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's multiple owners. The Redstone family still has a lot of money in them. I think that, because, look, for those of you that don't really know the history, CBS Viacom used to be CBS Viacom. It was one big company. They split off into different companies at the behest of Sumner Redstone quite a few years ago. Mm-hmm. His daughter, Sherry Redstone, in the last month or so has been sort of quietly hush-hush pushing for a merger. We believe that they are inoculating themselves because they know that there is going to be a shitstorm coming. And there's a lot of stuff about to come out about these people, and I think they're trying to rush a merger essentially because they don't think Viacom's going to survive. Or CBS. CBS is fine. I think they're merging it to circle the wagons and keep them both alive.
Right.
That's my theory. But yeah, this is breaking CNBC as of today, 12:35.
There was a throwaway account on Reddit that wrote something about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was hilarious. Yeah, that was funny. You want me to? I could read that if you want.
Well, yeah, do the first part. I'll do the.
All right. No, I don't have it pulled up, though.
Okay, I'll start. I frequently follow this. It's titled Throwaway Account. It's under with a conspiracy thread. Correct.
Yeah, the conspiracy Reddit was where I originally did a lot of artificial pumping of this story. You know, I posted some of our old shows with the actress that had the barefoot auditions and all that stuff. They've been pretty kind to us on the conspiracy subreddit. A lot of people are sort of behind it, and we've kept them up to date throughout the weeks. And I guess it's become a bit of a, if you go to, the subreddit is our conspiracy, but yeah, it's one of those Reddits where you'll see a lot of Dan Schneider stuff.
I frequently follow this subreddit and see Dan Schneider come up a lot, so I wanted to post about it. A little bit about me, so you have some reason to take my word for what it's worth. Even as a stranger, I'm self-proclaimed conspiracy theorist. I followed this subreddit for quite a while and love keeping up with trying to figure out the real grime that goes on behind the curtains in this world. I've worked in Hollywood all my life and can say that with confidence that it's filled with shit people and harmful brainwashing propaganda. I've never considered myself Hollywood at all, so I've always kind of been on an outsider even when it began. It's been interesting, a journey working in the business. Now to the subject of Schneider. I don't know him on a personal level. I haven't seen or spoken to him in years, and I only interacted with him through work, so I can't speak with complete confidence. But all I can give is my opinion based on observations.
And then it goes on. Now, I'll rant all that comes to mind. He was very nice. A good word to use would be jolly, aside from the occasional serious times that are common when filming and things aren't going right. All the kids on the show seemed to genuinely like him. The dynamic was like he was their goofy uncle. This could account for the pictures of them on his lap or seemingly compromising positions. It looks creepy out of context, but I have to say I would see those circumstances in person. Being familiar with their personalities and dynamics, it didn't seem odd at all. He would goof off a lot with us. Some of the kids seemed to have a very sweet, deeper relationship with him, like a father figure. He had an adult/dark sense of humor in person, so seeing it in episodes wasn't weird. To me, it just seemed to make it fun for the parents and people watching old enough to understand. He's an adult constantly writing comedy for kids, so I could see it being entertaining to put some things you would find funny within the lines. I didn't think so deeply into it. Jamie Lynn Spears seemed to quickly be over the show. She didn't need the money, and like most kids, especially kids that have it all for the most part, she got bored. She was brighter than you would think as well. She would have conversations that would surprise me because I assumed she was complete tits at first. Even if Dan was ill-intentioned, I couldn't really imagine a situation where she would ever be sexual in any way with him. She nor her family had any reason to allow such things. She was in very control on that set and would do as she pleased. Towards the end, she would spend most of her time in her trailer with her boyfriend, who was always with her on set. With her personality type mixed with how comfortable she was around him, it didn't seem at all like she was hiding some dark secret. From my understanding, the psychology of a child who gets exposed to sexual assault would seem to somewhat apparent when they're around the perpetrator. She definitely seemed comfortable.
Victoria Justice was very mature for her age. She was one of those amazing kid actors that seemed like a tiny adult. We all talked a lot together, and when we would all hang with Dan, she was completely comfortable around him. Her mother as well. Her and her mother were very sweet, and I always told them she should have her own show after Zoe. So that was an easy next step to happen for them. I've worked a lot with a lot of weirdos and creeps, some of which I can easily sense the odd dynamics they have with other people they're working with. I didn't get that from him. When it comes to his personal life, I know nothing about him. He could have weird fetishes or even little kids, and I would have zero idea. But from my dealings, I couldn't imagine a scenario of him being able to act on those feelings in a major way with kids I was working with at the time. I would hate to see an innocent man thrown under the bus if no evidence came out. If real evidence were to come out, then damn, I was fooled, and that's heartbreaking shame. My 2 cents. So,
yeah. The first comment on the subreddit was, "Nice try, Dan." With a fucking lot of upvotes.
that's fair.
The thread itself, I believe, got downvoted to 0, so there's no points. But the top comment on it had like 40 upvotes of "Nice try, Dan."
Yeah, I mean,
It's very common, and I'm not saying that he's doing this, but it is very common in a scenario comparable to this, that if you have things being said about you online, that you hire a firm, and a firm will go out and do what's called astroturfing, where they create an artificial grassroots sort of a, support of you. And I think that that's what's happening here.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that someone said in the chat, it seems like it was written by a lawyer. It's too well worded.
It sounds like, honestly, it was written by somebody who, I don't know. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
It was you, Dan. Stop it. I think Dan wrote it and a lawyer fucking proofed it, and then it went out.
Well, one more thing before we go to break. California Democrats want businesses to turn over half their tax cut savings to the state.
What?
California Democrats want businesses to turn over half their tax cut savings
You
to the
motherfuckers.
state. Mike,
You motherfuckers.
I have a response to that.
Here's
your taxes.
I don't think that's a good idea. Why do you people vote Democrat? I don't get it.
Democrat state lawmakers in California say they want some business to give half their tax cut savings from congressional Republicans' tax reform package to the state. That's no way to create jobs and raise pay, conservatives fire back. It's typical that Democrats in California see every dollar back in taxpayers' pockets as a dollar they can steal. Commentator Ben Shapiro himself, a Californian, told the Daily Signal in an email. They're driving business out of the state quickly and efficiently, and this is the latest move that will continue to do just that, Shapiro said. State Assemblyman Kevin McCarty, Democrat, Sacramento, and Phil Ting, Democrat, San Francisco.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, Phil Ting from San Francisco.
Propose
All of their politicians are Asian.
Propose a tax surcharge on companies in California making more than $1 million. San Francisco Gate reported that this would force the companies to give half of their federal income tax cut to the state government programs for middle-class and low-income families.
If you people vote Democrat again after this, you deserve every terrible thing that befalls you.
Trump's tax reform plan was nothing more than a middle-class tax increase. Ting said. How? Oh, if you live in California, because they can't write off your horrendous state taxes anymore like they used to. You mean like that? You mean because the federal government was bearing the weight of your terrible state taxes and they were allowing you to write it off? That way you got money back from the federal government because you kept fucking taking money. And by the way, the most bankrupt fucking state in the country.
They closed our loopholes. Yeah, that's what happens.
Guess what? Fix your tax system. This bill will help blunt the impact of the federal tax plan on everyday Californians.
Also, why should we give a break to the state that hates this country the most?
Yep.
Pound for pound, per capita.
Of course.
You people hate America. Why should we give you more money than what? We could give just as much money as we give to California. We could give that shit to South Dakota. South Dakota would be a fucking utopia.
South Dakota would look like a Blade Runner future.
I really would,
If we gave that money to any of the Dakotas, they would look, by now, they would have flying cars, facial recognition. It would be they would move the center of the country from New York to one of the Dakotas.
We could have cured cancer by now.
Yeah.
But oh no, we got to give beaners driver's licenses instead. Are you fucking serious? Fuck you, California. Fuck you.
I'm going to teleport over there to Moose Lake to do some ice fishing.
Seriously.
I'll teleport back.
Do you understand how fucking perfect this country would look if we just, like, I know it's a meme and everything, but if we just cut that section out, the whole Pacific Northwest, bye.
See ya.
You'd fucking be killing it.
This bill will help blunt the impact of... I already read that. The Republican tax reform package, which President Donald Trump signed into law December 22nd, caps...
$92 billion a year we spend on a federal level on illegal aliens in California. Sorry, I know you were just...
Sanctuary cities.
Fix your shit. It's not Trump's fault.
The tax and local income deduction of $10,000, allowing taxpayers who itemize instead of taking the standard deduction to deduct from federal income any property and income taxes paid to the state or local governments. So, yeah, I mean, that's the basic gist of what they want to do. They want to, the money you're getting back, they want to steal it, and they want to give it to people who don't work hard and make money because feelings. Yeah. That's the argument, unless there's another argument.
There are so many states that you could get. Like, if you gave the money we gave to California to Texas, Texas would use it to combat illegal aliens and actually keep, like, Texas has a very independent kind of vibe to it.
Texas would have border agents with the shield hovercrafts.
You hate this country, you hate being here, you hate our president, and you hate most of us, and you resent us. Why should we give you the most money? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why do you get more for doing less and for legitimately? I would understand if a place was, it's our job as Americans to look out for each other.
Right.
If Sioux City, Iowa fucking got destroyed by some super fucking weapon or something, it would be our job to all of us pitch in and help them. Because they love America and they love being here. That they're a part of us. You guys literally hate this place. You hate us. And then you spurg out every time we turn the faucet off. Go fuck yourself.
Literally turn the faucet off because they don't even get water. Their water is from somewhere else.
Everything. We give you everything. Yeah. And you're like a spoiled little... Literally, Los Angeles and California, it's the perfect analogy for a... fucking My Sweet 16, rich, spoiled twat of a kid. Fuck you people. Cutting off the credit cards.
Shilly, shill.
You
gotta go to break.
You are going to be grounded. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff out there, folks. Like I said, if you are listening to us in audio form, you can go to iTunes. Well, I guess if they were deaf, they wouldn't listen. Whatever. iTunes, you can rate us 5 stars. Facebook, you can do the same damn thing. And head on over to our YouTube channel. We got plenty of video content. You can watch this bitch getting fucking
amazing
chicken wings and nachos to the face. All kinds of goodies, exclusives. If you would like to support the show, well, we would like you to support the show as well. You can go to patreon.com/We're Not Sorry if you want to do like a monthly deal. If you can't sign up monthly, you can just go to paypal.me YouTube.com/We're Not Sorry. Give a one-time donation. If you go to our YouTube channel, I updated our links so you can find everything on there now. RevengeOfTheSys.com. Bam. Twitter @ROTC Media. Bam. All that shit, son.
We'll be right back. Second hour, we'll be interviewing Agluck.
The most exciting 2 hours of television is back with an all-new Revenge of the Sis. As Royce and Mersch continue to track an international deep state pedophile ring, their journey to the nation's capital is put on hold as Orlando's best police cops receive a cryptic message from an old colleague.
It's a message from my old partner. He needs to see us in Los Angeles right now. Says it's related to our case.
Do you trust him?
As much as I trust you, partner.
What's to know then? A detour from their original investigation finds these no-nonsense detectives in the middle of Hollywood.
Thanks for meeting me. We can't talk long. They're probably following me.
Who's following you?
The Podesta brothers. They've got eyes everywhere, Lopez.
Now trapped between deep state globalists and the Hollywood elite, Lopez and Mersch are on the case. They're no longer avenging Orlando. They're saving America. And this week, they're taking on Pedowood.
I've been working this case. This Dan Schneider guy, producer at Nickelodeon, he's into kids. Or feet. Or kids' feet.
Yeah, the iCarly guy.
How do you know all this?
Thanks for meeting me.
No problem, Miss Bynes.
This is Amanda Bynes? Jesus, she looks terrible.
Dude, she can hear you.
Watch this week as the web grows bigger, the case becomes more complex, and more older model cars get wrecked and plenty of nameless extras get shot. This week on an all-new Revenge of the Sis, followed by Nazi Lawyer. USA, hotels don't have Netflix.
Do you like pranks, guns, and jokes about retarded people? Well, so do we, but odds are your liberal snowflake friend doesn't. How would you like an easy, cost-effective way of screwing with that friend anonymously without losing your Twitter account? Guns for Tards is the perfect way to trigger SJW anonymously through the mail. For a low fee, your target will receive a beautifully designed professional mailer from our fictional Guns for Tards charity containing a thank you letter for their donation. They'll be led to believe that money was donated in their name to a charity that advocates Second Amendment rights for the mentally handicapped people in their area. For a few extra bucks, they will receive pictures and a detailed profile of a retarded person who they helped harm. It's all fun and games, well, except for that idiot who gets this in their mailbox and freaks out. Messing with someone through the mail is effective. Most people do it trolling over the internet, but regular mail is way more invasive. Whether it's a boss, an ex, or a liberal professor you don't like, this is the perfect way to screw with someone anonymously for the cost of a cup of coffee. Well, a cup of coffee in Manhattan, in a fancy coffee shop. Check out www.gunsfortards.com and select a package today. Use promo code MERSH for 10% off.
Cousin Joe Show. And I'm sitting in the chair. He did the barber cock touch.
What the fuck?
This is what it is.
Dude, where are you going to get your hair cut?
Listen to me.
Where are you going?
See how I'm sitting right now?
Yeah, I do.
Where are my elbows?
Outside the... Oh!
They always go around the side, and where the height of my elbow is always their dick. He reaches in, and his cock touches my elbow. And the thing is, like, I can't immediately jerk away because that looks like...
You know you touched it.
Right, I'm acknowledging a cock touch. So instead, I just leave it there and let him rub his dick on my elbow.
Dude! Did he go back and forth?
That's when you could tell.
Did he go back and forth ever, like, fast?
Not fast. I wonder if guys do play games or get the barber hard. Kind of wiggle their elbow.
Nobody does that, Joe. Nobody does that.
Well, weird faggots. Who knows?
You're fucking weird.
Hey.
Tune into the Cousin Joe Show live Thursday nights 7 to 10 on More Like Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can make him better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster. A new night, a new time. The Sully Show returns to More Like Radio, Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern before Dutch and Royce. Tuesday nights will never be the same.
If you weren't able to catch the last Hippo Juice show, here's what you probably missed.
Anita Pedman.
That sounds fake.
Fine. Anita Smith, an administrative assistant, altered records to pocket $75.
Wait, I know Padme. She was actually Queen Amidala.
They're the same people?
Yeah. I know. Blew my mind too.
Why wasn't it just Queen Padme?
Guys, I don't know if you know this, but Anakin didn't like sand.
So coarse.
It was very coarse.
And rough.
It was rough and coarse.
Gets everywhere.
Fucking hate that guy.
He was probably bitter because he tried to fuck Queen
I
Amidala.
thought about that awful dialogue.
I know, dude.
Since
Watch
I watched it the first
Again,
time.
though.
I feel like I blocked it out.
You block it out. You
block it out, and the fact that you brought it up just
it's so bad, right?
Are you serious? Out of all 8 and then the side movies, that's the only thing I remember from Star Wars.
Is the sand?
Oh, really? Oh, that's funny.
Like, nothing else matters except for maybe credits will do fine. Except,
she does that all the
credits
time.
will do fine.
But, yes.
No, they won't.
Really, seriously, watch the dialogue.
Guess what I have?
Watch the dialogue.
I don't like sand.
Oh, God. Don't do that. Turn it up a bit.
Rough and irritating.
It gets everywhere.
Not like here.
Oh, God, it's so bad.
Here everything is soft.
It's making me cringe. It's making me cringe.
It was like if the host of an NPR special wrote a Match.com bio.
Right.
I don't like sand.
Listen to the Hippo Juice show live every Wednesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. on morelikeradio.com.
All right, Titus, you good to go?
Like a middle-aged lady sitting on a dryer at a singing laundromat. It's real. It's real. It's behind it all. Every Jew got an email that morning.
Fantastic. Moving on.
Milk has an expiration date. We should do that with the elderly. Benghazi! 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 Hillary was there.
Love it, Titus.
Did I pop the P in Hillary murdered Nicole Brown Simpson?
Nope, sounded good in here.
Fluoride! Fluoride! Makes children gay. The Supreme Court wears robes to hide their octopus bodies. The CIA invented AIDS to sell quilts. Barack Hussein Obama, he's a Muslim Jew.
Second hour. Revenge of the Sis. Thank you for staying with us. We have another fun hour, but we have a guest.
We do have a guest.
That's correct. We have Agluck coming on. And I'm going to do that now, Mike, if you want to maybe talk him up a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, he does a gaming channel. I think he hopped over to Twitch. I used to pop into his YouTube stream fairly frequently, but I think I see him.
Oh, I see him now.
Agluck up in his bitch. He is at Real Agluck on Twitter. What's going on, homie?
Not much, guys. How are you?
Doing good, man. Can't complain. How's life treating you?
Good. Day off from actual real life work,
Mm-hmm. Fucking day jobs blow, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Fucking worst. I was actually in your stream the other night. What video game were you playing when I was in there? It was some shooting game. I've never played it before.
Rainbow Six Siege?
No. It was you parachute in.
Oh, Fortnite.
Okay.
Yeah, Fortnite.
That looks cool. I've never played that before. I have to say something. I'm very, very impressed with you or anybody that can play a game well and still look at the chat and talk to people. When I'm playing a game, I can't do that. I have to just play the game. I don't know how. Maybe it's because I'm old, but I can't. How do you do that?
Actually, it was one of my buddies who was telling me you got to learn to talk to yourself. And so with it popping up on the screen and stuff, I just learned to glance off and interact while, trying to focus. If you watch a lot of my stuff, you can see I screw up a lot of the time because I'm so focused on the conversation.
Yeah, I saw him take a couple licks on Rainbow Six one night because everybody was all like, there was some Bunty King stream everybody was still all fired up about. There was like some argument about religion, and then on top of that, the Aziz Ansari thing. So he was on YouTube one night. Everybody was just like, so he was getting yoked a couple times just because he would be like, yeah, the whole thing about Aziz is, shit. Yeah, sorry, bud. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I will say this. We got to move you over to do a show. I mean, still play your video game show, of course, but, do a show, just you talking. I think, number one, you're a good-looking kid.
Gets a lot of damn.
Yeah, so you're going to do... I'm telling you, you have it to be one of the bigger shows on there because I like your content. You're very well-spoken, and you really do make your points well.
Yeah, I don't know. I have, I'm slightly educated. I have my bachelor's and stuff. And I was never one to shy away from talking to people. I grew up from age about 15 to about 26. I was actually doing wedding DJing. And so I got comfortable speaking in the public realm on people's, massively important days.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to fuck that up. You don't want to drop an N-bomb and a wedding DJ and ruin their fucking day.
Can we file wedding DJ too under one of those gigs that is fucking like, it just sounds like for the first 3 weeks it would be super fun.
Yeah.
And then after that you'd be like, okay, look, I'm at a wedding every goddamn day and I'm not married, so that's even more depressing.
Actually, you know what? It was quite fun. There were a lot of not married bridesmaids and other things that,
right,
allowed it to be fun.
My nigga Gluck smashing fucking bridesmaids in the elevator. I get it, bro.
Yeah, man. DJs always get it, especially if you be like, oh, do you have this song? And you come through. Easy. That's easy tail. Easy.
Yeah, if you're a wedding DJ, just go, hey, you want to go? I got some weed in the car.
Yeah.
Smoke some weed.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
That's
Whatever.
it. And then that's it.
That's it.
You get a little fucking...
Yeah.
Get a little fucking old-fashioned HJ. and
Yeah,
then you come
play
back in.
the chicken dance and you fucking set.
Right?
So you're not you're a bit of a theist, right? Like you're one of the rare guys I see on the internet that doesn't really come off like hardcore atheist guy.
No, I went to college at a Catholic university, and so I would throw myself in the agnostic realm where I know there's something spiritually bigger out there, but is it, what the Bible says? Is it what, Buddhists believe, the way you should live your life and stuff? Or, there's something there. Anyone who says there absolutely isn't is full of shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's and again, Mike and I talk about it on our show. We went from being these edgelord atheists to like, what is wrong with us? Like, you do. After a while, you're like, man, it's cringy looking back at some of the stuff I said and some of the stuff I did and being very close-minded.
Well,
and
I think that the problem, it's too that like this seems to be a problem with like particularly millennials where they just they want absolutes. Like that's why authoritarianism on both the left and the right's on the rise. That's why you see like hardcore evangelical atheists that are like, fuck your God, your God's fucking stupid. And then you've got even hardcore Deuce Volt Catholics. Like, it's just like, it just seems to me like everybody everyone knows the fucking absolute answer. And it's getting really smug. And sometimes I just really want to smack people in the mouth because it's just, it seems like a lot of people. It's why I kind of like Gluck, because Gluck doesn't come off like
Like a smug dude who's like, yeah, psh, you're stupid. Like, you seem to be like the anti-edgelord.
Yeah, I think I am bigger on the conversation side. Like, I'll listen to whatever anyone has to say, but I mean, I will call shenanigans when needs be.
Yeah, and that's fair, and that's, I mean, I think that's all you get asked to be, is to have a platform, and you know, I think that's the most important part, is talking to everybody, because I mean, we've talked to fucking literal Nazis on the show, and to all the way to left wing nuts, and it's, who cares, you know? You could, and you know, at the end of the day, we end up being, you can find common ground with most people if you actually take the time to have a conversation. Like, I've been shocked by some people before the show. Mike's like, oh, this person's, you know, they're kind of a white nationalist. Oh, here we go. And then when you're done, you're like, you know, he's a pretty recent guy. You know, I don't agree with some stuff, but you don't have to immediately shut your brain down. And I think that's what happens. And I think what's happening now is people have to be really, really careful not to just start instantly just protecting their side because it's their side. Because that's how things, that's what we complain about the left all the time. You know, it's like there's no independent thought, and I don't want the right to start losing that.
Yeah, I think with that mentality of there's going to be some sort of common ground, you may not agree with everything, but being able to just have a conversation on what you have in common is a good thing. And I don't know, I'm from California, and I know this state is ass backwards
so
90% of the time, but like I mean, I can find common ground with, you know, some crazies. I mean, you know, push aside the freaking Black Lives Matter and the, you know, the feminist movement and the crazies. But I mean, there's liberals, like hardcore liberals, that I'll find common ground. But,
yeah,
you know, I hate the term, but I would say classical liberal is where I fall politically, or center left floating back and forth between the right and left. And so, I mean, I vary, you know, I take it as I see it versus here's how you have to be because you identify as this.
No, it's true. And I think some people need to take things on an issue by issue basis. I was telling you before the show that I'm Mike and I both were pretty much Ron Paul libertarians, I guess you describe us. And you know, I also think now what's happening is that I always, you could listen back to the show, I always would say that the one thing I liked about the right was, you know, you could have all these different groups of people like white supremacists and this and that, and people that are, you know, just, you know, kind of right, but they neocons, but they all agree on, a set number of things, and they could vote together. And I'm getting scared now because I think that the tribes are starting to become a little more exclusive, where it's not that thought anymore, where it's like, okay, now I'm with this group, I'm with this clique of people, so now I'm just going to shut down anyone who's not me. And I think that I don't want that to happen. I want there to always be open stuff, because just as easy as we push to the right, if the right starts acting fucking dumb, you're going to start pushing people to the left. That's how it goes. It's a ping pong battle.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think we were talking about it before, the whole horseshoe theory and everything like that is they have a lot more in common, and they're getting closer and closer to each other, you know?
Yeah. No, it is true where you start going like, well, wait a second. If you look at some of white nationalist stuff, it's pretty socialist. You're like, wait a minute. And that's kind of like, you know, that's kind of like the dividing thing. That's why the left fucking crumbled and is eating themselves how they are now. They're eating themselves right now.
Well, it's because the left is an authoritative, you know, sort of group think. Everyone has to think the same. The left is a movement, whereas the right tends to be more of a coalition.
Yeah, a bowel movement. Am I right, Mike? High five. He won't even look at me. He won't look at me, dude. He will not even look at me. He wants to punch me in the face. Okay, I'm putting my hand down.
But no, the left is a movement, and the right is more of a coalition. And coalitions are easier to hold together. Like a confederacy is easier to hold together than one massive movement of people that are just all united for one thing. Like, it's easier to just get a few groups that go, all right, so you ain't gonna fuck with my guns, and you won't report me on Facebook for, you know, dropping a slur. All right, we're good. Shake hands. We'll shake hands on it. You know what I mean? Like, as long as we, you know, the right just tends to agree on a few basic things, and then everything else we're like, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, if as far as like a disagreements and freedom of speech, I see some nasty shit get lobbed around between people on the right, but I don't ever see them not all show up to the same rally and be like,
That's a
all
good
right,
point.
look, you know, at the end of the day, we got to make sure these Antifa idiots aren't, you know, breaking windows and being assholes. So I just think that's why they kind of get along better. They get along better because we don't get along better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you see like the Me Too movement slowly eating each other alive, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because girls aren't raped. Girls aren't getting raped enough to use the hashtag. You know, no, but seriously, if that's not a good way to put it, I don't know what is. But I'm seeing levels now of like the Me Too movement operates much like Scientology now, where there's levels. So you got to get to OT 10. You know what I mean? You have to, I guess, get raped a lot.
Well, like the Grace girl, you know, she's OT1 because she just had a negative run-in with a guy who was awkward in a sexual advance versus, you know, she can't be 10 because she wasn't actually penetrated by his penis.
Can I say, by the way, speaking of the Aziz situation, I will say this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
I'm going to say this. Yes, I'm going to agree that with what came out, that was really wishy-washy and could have been taken anyway. I will openly admit that on this show. However, I will say that we are biased.
However,
because I got off of another phone call yesterday, and I'm going to say this. It's not the only story that's going to come out, and the other story is not good. I might be wrong. Fucking could be 100% wrong. Our credibility's gone. So whatever. But I'm telling you, because the same reason, because the person or people that gave me the information said, this is not the story that we thought was going to come out. It is true, but we think there's going to be more. All right? So I'm just putting that out there. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. But like we did with the Aziz story before, we said something because it's when this person talks, it's credible. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, God only knows what could potentially come out from any of these, you know, Hollywood crazies and the, you know, good love of Harvey Weinstein. You know?
Dude, Royce is right now fleshing out like 2 or 3 things that he's working on. And I'm about the same number. I'm fleshing out 2 or 3 things right now, too, that we will once again be ahead of everybody else on because we just we're starting to find out about what's going on. It's not going to stop. I had a conversation last month, and I can say it. It was with one of the guys I talk to a lot, and Royce talks to him too, but Gabe Hoffman, who did
Mike definitely talks to him more.
He's the producer. And, well, because he's like a weird guy and he's up late at night like me. So it's one of those things where we're just usually up late at night with bleeding eyes looking at stuff. And like we'll just DM or like talk on the phone. And he was telling me a while back, he's like, dude, 2017 was like a fucking warm-up party. He's like, 2018, this thing is going to just be a juggernaut that can't be stopped. And it's going to be a lot of stuff with kids this year. It's going to be fucking brutal what comes out about Hollywood. And it's going to be really weird.
Maybe people give Corey Feldman a chance to actually speak and not brush him off on their talk show.
Dude, they're going to, a lot of people are going to get exposed. I mean, big, heavy, operators in the industry. Hollywood is going to be so disgustingly tainted by next election that when they come out in unison, spurg out in their pussy hats and scream about Trump, he's going to win with probably a margin of like a high 50%, low 60s by the end.
You really think so?
Oh, the Democrats would put up against him.
Well,
Yeah, Bernie Sanders talking about he wants to go at it again, and it's like, please don't.
John Kerry just said that he might want to run.
They'll never, at the end of the
Again.
day, they will never, ever, ever, mark my words, it's like a woman, they will elect a black guy in this country because Obama had swag. He was not even technically. If Barack Obama is a black president, then that means that The Rock is a black guy.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're kind of a black guy, but let's be fair. You are a star in which it transcends your blackness. You're half black and you're a superstar and a rock star on the mic and the camera. That's what you are.
Denzel Washington is blacker than both of them.
Obama was unstoppable, but as far as and we'd elect a black guy again, but you will never see a shrill woman like Hillary elected president. You'd
No.
See a conservative woman maybe get elected. And you will
Dude,
never
maybe
see.
maybe The Rock could come back and whip those Seattle soy boys into shape.
He should host. I'm with you. The Rock, he's going to be the commissioner of the XFL.
Mark my words, though, as regards to Bernie Sanders, he cannot beat Trump. Nobody will vote. Nobody will vote. The Midwest will not vote in a man who sounds like a New York Jew. They won't do it. I guarantee you. That's the bottom line. People are all about perception and what they see. Middle America is not going to fucking elect a guy who's like, the top 1% of the top 40% of the 5%, and if you deduct 2% from the 1%, there's a lot of people out there with 4 lake houses that are getting hit real hard by the tax break. And you're
But
like,
he has 4 lake houses.
yeah, exactly. So he's not going to appeal to all these fucking people, these nobodies, these losers in these flyover states that elected the president last time. When
The
they're
places
getting-
Hillary
when they
should have fucking campaigned if she wanted to win.
When these fucking trailer park Rust Belt state people are now employed and they're getting bonuses and shit, they're not going to elect top 1% or 2%. They're going to be like, man, I went up 4% last year. Well, fuck yourself. So, you think they're going to sell? Bernie
Months of
Sanders is
missing
going to run
text
against
messages
Trump?
between 2 FBI agents have
Oh, I'm so
located
sorry.
what
My
to a
stupid
letter
story started
came
playing.
But yeah, do you think they're going to run Bernie Sanders against Trump in fucking 3 years, the man who's going to revive the economy and give people money back? They have to run on higher taxes. It's dude, Republicans do this all the time. They put you in an indefensible position where you have to run on higher taxes. And then all of a sudden people are having nicer Christmases. You know what I mean? There's not a bunch of Muslims running people over with trucks. And eventually people are kind of like, hey, you know what? I can't run on higher taxes and street barricades. Can't do it. You're not going to win on it. You can run on it, but you ain't going to win on it.
No, and if he was a American, I'd say, I really like Jordan Peterson as much of the vampire that you guys pointed out. That he
Oh
looked
no,
like.
get me wrong. I like him too.
He is held in the highest esteem on this show. We're just saying he looks like a fucking ghoul.
Oh yeah, he knocked the
And
wings
once you
right in that
point it out,
bitch's face.
it's like the what was that movie with Kate Beckinsale? He looks
Underworld.
He
Yes.
looks like the vampire's leader, dude.
Yes,
He
it
definitely-
does.
But we're just getting the word out there. We don't condone violence, but if you do kill Jordan B. Peterson, all the other vampires on the planet turn back to normal.
Yeah, we don't know if that's true or not.
So if your loved one is a vampire, you need to protect them.
Yeah. And I like Jordan Peterson.
No, we
Don't get
love
me
him.
wrong. I
We
think
love
he's fucking brilliant. I mean, the way he fucking just smacked that bitch down in that video, he shut her down, and it was wonderful.
There's nothing more rewarding in this world than a funny autistic person.
Oh yeah,
And not laugh at you funny, but literally a guy that is funny and autistic, and he's both. He's Mr. Facts, and the way he answers questions so matter-of-factly and dry, you're like, I love this dude. He's my hero.
Yeah, it's just you can see the mythology in what he does and how concise he is, and he's like, no, that is not what I'm saying. Here, let me explain it for you, dumbass.
Yeah, basically, he's always every time he talked back to her, he was implying, "You dumb idiot."
I thought,
without having to say it.
I honestly thought that woman was going to cry. And that's not a punchline. I was like, is she gonna
squirt?
She had to kind of go, don't get crazy right now.
I don't know if you guys got the chance to watch my latest video when I covered that, and I obviously elongated that part where she's having the breathing issue, and he basically shuts her down. And I thought it was great. And my buddy Sicko, who you guys have heard me talk to on the mic while I'm gaming, he's like, dude, everyone's using this. Use the Jeopardy countdown for when they're trying to figure out the answer. And it was perfectly timed because it's just you can see her brain is trying to catch up to what the hell he's saying, and it's not going to happen.
I just want a 10-hour loop, someone to loop it perfectly.
You know what?
Of her just thinking.
What's weird is too, it's an art form how he does it, because he does it with he's not like a Ben Shapiro that's going to bombard you with facts.
Right.
He uses there's an art form in using so few words
to ruin somebody. If they gave Jordan Peterson 30 minutes to talk and she was dumbfounded, it'd be one thing. But he was literally giving her maybe 6, 7-word answers, and she was like, "But I put you." He wasn't even doing. It was like watching Mayweather fight like a boxer who's like 3-0, but a young kid. And like they went a few rounds, and you can just tell. All right, he took it easy on him for a few rounds. Let the kid get on TV for a little bit.
Or more
But
realistically,
he didn't
it's
really
like,
kill him.
Or more realistically, he's having Mayweather fight his wife, which he's done. Which he's done. So
yeah, man, and he's 4-0 in that
oh
department.
yeah, he does not lose.
Yeah, it's not the only thing he's undefeated in.
Yeah.
But yeah, he slips everything the person throws at him, and he's going to go through the Milo treatment. And Milo even what's talking about that is he'll go through the Milo treatment now, where the news won't pick him up and the news won't bring him on for interviews because they know they're going to get ran over by the guy.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely just step over them.
The thing is that he pulls in, I think, probably confidently more money just from Patreon. I'm sure Milo has all kinds of little shady deals he does, but Peterson's doing all right financially. And Peterson doesn't come off like a guy like Milo where he really gives all that much of a fuck if the media does any, you know what I mean? Because he's got his own people. They ain't going nowhere. They can't silence him. Like Milo's kind of killing his own brand because he's just got the same shtick and everybody's tired of it. Whereas I think Peterson's always got a sound, reasoned argument. He's always going to be looked at a little bit better. I think he's more immune to the media trying to fuck him over, you know?
Yeah, and I think even Milo said that he recently when he was covering that, he was like, he's more level-headed than me. He doesn't let the person get under his skin, and he stays very detached. And you can tell in his responses, it's just like, brushing off his shoulder.
Yeah, it's because let's be fair. The woman that he was debating here was not even close to his intellectual level. Like she was just.
She looked like she was gonna cry.
Yeah,
man.
she was. Yeah, you're right. She looked like. Why'd you say that? I will say this to hop over because you say you live in California. Did illegal immigrants really block the entrance to Disneyland?
I don't know.
Yep,
I haven't heard that. Is that
congratulations? Because you do now. Illegal immigrants blocked the entrance to Disneyland to protest for DACA. Swear to God.
Like, okay, first of all,
yeah,
it's a tourist attraction, and there's probably a lot of tourists from other countries coming.
Of course.
You just make our country look like a bunch of jackasses.
Mm-hmm. The DACA recipients, commonly called the Dreamers, stood in a crosswalk at South Harbor Boulevard around 10 a.m. and blocked buses from entering the theme park. The 15 protesters were quickly removed by law enforcement officers and were relocated to a sidewalk where they held signs that chanted, "No dream, no deal." The group is only about 20 people who have been peaceful. Disneyland is operating as normal today, Disneyland spokeswoman said. Look at them virtue signal, because that was the Disneyland's comment. Look at them virtue signal to not, because Disney's just being really on the fence. No, they're wonderful people. We move them through the sidewalk. Shut the fuck up. If somebody else was blocking buses, you would have them forcibly removed. You wouldn't move them to the sidewalk, you pandering assholes.
Honestly, I think it would have been funny if they roped them off and made a wall around them.
Oh fuck!
I just don't. We were talking about that earlier before you even came on, but we just don't understand your state's love affair with being invaded economically, culturally. And again, I'm not a white nationalist. I've been pretty outspoken about the fact that I'm not an ethno-state guy, but I certainly allow people to have their own preferences. If you're a white person, you want to date a white person, God bless you. That being said, we're still being invaded culturally. There is a very un-American wave of emotion that seems to pour out of California, and it's unfortunate because we send a lot of money to California and in federal aid.
I think what it is our industry. We're the breadbasket of the U.S. We have the biggest producing, for ag, and without non-documented people, the Republicans in this state would not have anyone to work for them. I truly think that's one of the justifications, because I know myself, and like I said, I'm a sinner, but I'm not going to go out and pick the food for $10 for a giant bushel. It's not going to work for me, you know?
Well, I will say this, and I've heard that before, and again, I'm my last name's Lopez here, so I could tell you from a unique perspective. That is true, but when people say stuff like that, then we're relegating people that come here to only being able to do those jobs. See, the problem is that
Exactly.
if you really care about if people, if we really care about the people, the Mexican people that are coming in here, them coming in here illegally doesn't just hurt us, it hurts them. They're coming in here without the proper documentation. They can't, show skills that they may have learned over there. They can't ask for a living wage. And what starts to happen is you're hurting them too. And then the money that they get, they just send back to their family. So it's kind of like, are we really helping them? Because it's the same thing. It's like, we want Mexicans to stay here, but I don't see any of those liberals, any of them going, oh, but it's also fucked up that they're only getting paid 20 cents because they don't want to have to pay $50 for avocado toast. And
yeah, exactly. And I grew up in the Central Valley, which is the heart of the ag area, and we called it the Bible Belt of California because it's super conservative. It's more like the middle of the country than California, the rest of California is. And that whole split California thing that they're trying to do.
Yep.
With making the SoCal, the liberal state, and then the rest is the Republican side, is because of that. And you have a area of the country that is a lot lower income than the rest of the state, which has the mass majority of the populace. And so it's a modern form of slavery, to be quite honest. I can understand. I don't want to pay. I mean, I could buy them for $1.25 right now in California. I don't want to pay $50 for an avocado, or any other kind of fruits or vegetables grown here.
Right.
But we're forcing, these immigrants into a modern form of slavery, to be quite honest, because they can't fight back. We're going to call ICE on you. Shut your mouth, or else we're calling and sending your kids back with you.
Yeah, that's the dirty side that they don't want to talk about, because, I'm not even Mr. Send them all back, flip. I'm not. If you talk to me reasonably, I will tell you that, yes, I think it's unfair if you're an actual kid who came here when you were 10 and then they send you back. That's bullshit. You're 10 years old. You had no choice in the matter. I 100% can have sympathy for that. But the problem is, and the biggest problem for me is that, notice the subtle change. It went from illegal aliens to illegal immigrants to undocumented immigrants to now when they talk about, they just say Donald Trump hates immigrants or wants all immigrants gone. And see, that's the issue there. They're lumping in legal immigrants like me and my family, or millions of people who did it the right way with people who didn't, and they're trying to unite us. And if you really talk to people, there's a lot of contempt for people that did it legally, going, well, I did it the right way. I had to pay a lot of money. It took me a long time. Why do they get a cut in front of the line? Look, everybody's hungry, but basically in my opinion, what the leftists want is like, look, I've been standing in line for 4 hours to go to get food. And that's like saying, oh, but this guy's poorer than you, so he gets to only wait 3 hours and he cuts the line. It's like, well, fuck that. And I think that's the issue, is they're trying to make legal immigrants and illegal immigrants go like, oh no, yeah, that's totally fine. No, that's not fair, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to work harder and get the same outcome as someone who did it illegally.
Exactly. And I have worked in restaurants and stuff where we have legal, like people who are, green card holders or, on the path to citizenship the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And they hated the illegal side of things. They hate it. And I mean, Sicko, my really good buddy who I do some streaming with and stuff, and he actually helps me with research for my channel. His family is from Chile, and his dad came into the country the proper way. I may be misspeaking, but his dad is an actual immigrant as far as I'm know, and they did it the right way. You know what his dad's political stance is? I'll give you a guess. He owns houses here in California, owns land, owns a bunch of stuff. He's a Republican.
Yep.
He's conservative because, why in the hell would you want people to take your shit? And why would you want to have to give it away? Like, my mentality comes straight from this. Stay the fuck out of my pocketbook, please.
Yeah, it's really simple, and that's why when Democrats are trying to paint this Republican tax bill as a bad thing. I'm like, look, I'm middle class. I'm getting money back. Like, I'm sorry, but for me, this is good, you know? And it's really hard, like Mike was saying earlier, to run on the give us more money platform. You know, it's a hard platform to run on.
It's going to be a very hard sell.
Yeah.
In 2 years, 2.5 years, when they're gearing up for a new election.
If you see these businesses that are, you know, turning things around, like my fiance, who she works for, she is getting a second wage increase in about 3 months, as well as, you know, bonus stock in the company and stuff. And she's benefiting from it. And so is 99% of the rest of the country. So anyone else trying to slate different is full of shit.
So what you're saying is your girlfriend is a Nazi, just like Trump.
Yeah.
I'm just taking notes.
Has to be. She's a Nazi, just like my wife's a Nazi, because my wife's company, too, is giving them more money back and a bigger bonus. It must be because everyone's a Nazi. Anyone who makes money is a Nazi now.
Yeah, don't you know? Capitalism, you know?
Oh, my God.
Capitalism.
This is what... every time I hear that, and it's like, I said, fuck capitalism, tweeted from an iPhone. You understand the hypocrisy, you fucking idiots. The same people that are standing in line to get a new iPhone or get the new goddamn Jordans hate capitalism. If it wasn't for capitalism, you wouldn't be using your fucking supercomputer in your goddamn pocket.
People always go with the iPhone or the Android or the Starbucks comparison. But what I try to tell people when they go, fuck capitalism, literally everything around you was created by capitalism. The fucking street you're standing on.
Yeah.
That company got paid by the government to pave those streets, and the fucking guys went and bought Christmas presents. So this entire thing. Every time you've looked at something that wasn't a sunset and went, oh, that gave me joy, it came from capitalism, okay? When you go into a grocery store and there's like 5, 6 to 12 different flavors of Go-Gurt, and you're complaining, motherfucker, how dare you?
Oh, no. Yeah, it's a joke.
Well, these people complaining about capitalism are the same people who don't understand that the Spanish word for black is not a negative thing towards black people.
Negative.
Yeah. Have you seen recently the people in outrage because of a tweet by a woman who was looking for her dog, and her dog's name is Negro?
Yes, I saw that. And now, if they're Hispanic, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But
People are Hispanic. The woman is a Hispanic person in Mexico.
Oh, if she's in Mexico, then that makes 100% sense.
Now, I'm curious what the age gap is
Yeah.
here. What age are you abouts there, Gluck?
I'm a millennial, but I'm on the back end. Okay. So I was born between. I'm fucking 33. Why beat around?
Okay,
33?
yeah.
Oh, you're our age.
Yeah. No, the only reason I ask is because you look like a young fella, but obviously you remember being a kid and getting like an ice cream sandwich and then playing an arcade game.
Yes.
Capitalism says you're welcome.
Yeah, that's fucking.
And you probably will have that memory on your fucking deathbed, thanks to capitalism. You'll have a memory of going to the circus.
The memory is, why can't we go back to the 90s when people weren't such pussies?
Oh, dude, look, listen, that's what Mike and I have been saying for a long time. It's like, me and him have been doing radio for a long time, and we're doing the same thing, but now we're like these crazy, edgy people that are, I'm like, well, we've been doing the same jokes, just culture around us has changed to where everything is bad, and every word has to be, like, for example, tranny. You're not taking that word away from me, from my fucking cold, dead hands. That's my I will use that word as often as I want.
Yeah, Royce is talking that good shit now, but I used to say the same thing about faggot and retard, and you know what? I can say neither now.
You just did.
Well, I mean, on the show, kind of, but I mean,
oh yeah,
you try
online.
dropping that shit on any kind of a thread.
Oh,
and
you're
like,
done.
Goodbye. And I'm like, even retard now? I love retard. That was my favorite. Like, when I tell you I used faggot a lot growing up with my buds.
Of course.
I never used it as a slur. It was always to my buddies, like, you fucking faggot.
Yeah.
But retard, dude, when you want to talk about probably, it'll when I die and I ask God what was, the top 10 most used words, I guarantee you retard will rake as like number 8. Because I love saying, oh, come on, that's retarded. Dude, you're a retard. And now you can't.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like, look at the outrage that any words are getting, and people going back to like 90s and early 2000 TV shows like Friends.
But can't we make a rule where slurs about people who lack the capacity to be offended?
Yeah.
can we let that slide? Because there is no, like, if you say retard, there's no retarded people that are getting mad at you. It's only non-retarded people.
That's a good point.
It's the same thing with like certain racist jokes. If you notice, it's usually white liberals that start going, "That's offensive," and I'm like, "You're not even black. Shut up."
We
you know what I mean? My black friend told me that joke. Go fuck yourself.
We've literally had on our YouTube comments, we had somebody say, you know, I like you guys, you're funny, but I don't like that, you know, Mersh uses the word nigga a lot because he goes, my nigga and all that stuff. And a black guy came to our defense. He goes, I'm black and I think it's fucking hilarious. And it's this weird, like, people are now getting outraged for other people. And again, it's the bigotry of low expectations. You know, it's like, well, they can't take care of themselves. I'm the superhero.
Dude, true story. When I did stand-up, when I first started doing stand-up, I was like doing crowd work and stuff, and I was terrible at all of it, but you know, I was at like some white little wine bar near the college in Wilmington, North Carolina. And there was like 2 black dudes in the audience. And they weren't just regular black dudes. These motherfuckers were down as fuck. Like, I could just tell. You know what I mean? Like, from one dude to another. And I was doing crowd work, whatever. And I was like, hey, it's good to see, you know, we got some black guys in the audience. And I don't even remember what the punchline was. But I think I said you managed to get some black guys to show up because it wasn't a very black town. And then I said it was cool because I probably wanted to buy drugs after the show. And I had a liberal, it was a girl, came up to me and was like, yeah, it's really, you know, it's problematic. And I'm like, all right, enough. Like, whatever. She was offended by my joke about blacks. The same gentleman that I made the joke about after the comedy show came up and asked me if I would like to go smoke marijuana with them. They did this within earshot of the girl. Like, she wasn't yelling at me anymore, but she was still at the bar talking to a friend, and they came over and asked me, and I was like, yeah, I gave that bitch the rock one eyebrow up. Walking past her like
slapped her in the face with your chicken wings.
Oh, look at that. Who's not offended? Because they came up and they were like, that shit was hilarious, dude. You want to go smoke though? And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Let's go. Let's roll out. Let's roll out, dog. Oh, no, stop it. Just stop. It's always people being offended for people. And if you look at the Women's March and you look at leftist marches and you look at Antifa stuff, it's generally just mentally ill white people. There's not a lot of, you know what I mean? Like, Black Lives Matter, we can sit here and argue all day about it. It's a terrorist organization, whatever. There is at least a valid source of anger in the black community.
That is fair. That's fair.
They're angry and they have misdirected anger and it goes in the wrong areas and they focus their rage in bad ways. That being said, they have a reason to be angry, and I will concede that point to them. But when you look at these marches and these rallies, it's always white people spurging out over things that weren't even said about them.
It really looks like a Fish concert. It's just a bunch of smelly white people.
How many, dude, I've worked in black strip clubs for years. I've hung out with a lot of black dudes. Trust me, I've had my days in the hood. And I can assure you, being the blackest person here on this panel today, that I have very rarely met big giant crowds of black social activists. You know what I mean? There's a few.
Yeah.
And there's a few, and like a lot of educated people who are involved in their community, but a lot of the activists who I hate in every community, there's not a lot of like outraged black people. And when they are, they're usually mad that a kid got shot. You know what I mean? Who had a fucking BB gun, you know, or something that's where you go, well, okay, let's be mad about this. I'm mad about it with you. But it's with these rallies, it's always just white folks that are like, well, stop making fun of retards and blacks. And you're like, I don't see a single retard or a black person here.
Yeah.
Why are you yelling at me, man?
Well, I see one retard.
Fuck.
Well, and it's the same thing. It's they're virtue signaling, and then, you know, it's like the Ugandan meme.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're all up in arms against it when the guy who made the movie that people are quoting loves it.
Loves
and
it.
He's Ugandan and black.
Yeah. They don't know the way. Yeah, dude, that, by the way, and I know a lot of people just know the meme. It was a few years ago. Watch the whole Ugandan movie. You will cry laughing at how good at bad it's being. I mean, it's so amazing. Watch where it comes from. But yeah, no, Polygon wants to ban the Ugandan knuckles from the fucking game, from the VR chat thing. They want to ban it. They were like, this is racist. Like, shut the fuck up, Polygon.
They just keep taking the fun out of stuff. Like, when you take the trolling and the fun out of stuff, you make it less fun. Like, when they took swastikas out of GTA Online, it was like, look, I get that it's offensive, but there was some fucking lulls to be had when you drove in GTA Online and passed a car with a swastika. You're like, the fuck was that? What did I just see? And like and then like WWE Online, people weren't allowed to upload Chris Benoit anymore. You know, and it was like some people were doing it to be an edgelord, but I'd also like to play as Chris Benoit.
Yes, me
Like,
too.
he
Look,
was a great wrestler.
Okay, hey Gluck, you a wrestling fan at all?
Yeah.
Oh, you're our boy.
I grew up during the Attitude Era.
Yes.
man.
Okay.
Good,
We've been looking for a couple people, but we've been looking for a couple people to do a quick little wrestling one-off show with, and you're absolutely in. Then perfect.
Right. Yeah, because we want to do a show that's dedicated to all of the top most way too offensive gimmicks of all time, like really politically offensive ones. And we're not just talking about fucking WWE in the 80s. We're going to do some digging and find like there have been some there was an indie worker called the Stormtrooper, and he came out in like fucking skinhead Nazi. Yeah, he came out in skinhead Nazi gear. And like we're trying to find like any kind of just
the
most
Repo Man.
disgusting gimmicks that were ever done.
Repo Man.
Why was the Repo Man that offensive?
Whose cars do you think he's taken?
Well, but that's because they didn't make their payments.
Oh, come on. You're the racist now. You're the racist.
Facts are not racist, okay? If you have bad credit, that's not my fault, and that's not skin color.
If I was a Repo Man, I would just park out of an Amscot. That's all you got to do. Or any check cashing
literally,
place.
hey, listen, black people, if you're listening, if you say that not paying your bills or I've heard credit reports are racist from black people before. Listen, just pay your bills. We've jumped through every hoop to make it available for you. We even made fucking check cashing places 24 hours now. You go to an Amscot 24 hours. There's literally no excuse to not pay the cable bill.
And if we're going to talk about racist wrestling things, we have to mention the Nation of Domination.
You don't just take things. You don't just rent things from Rent-A-Center and then immediately move. That's not cool.
Nation of Domination has to be up there.
They were good
when they
though.
brought The Rock in to, add some flair, and then the whole beef between them and everything. That was good stuff.
Well, that was back when they did remember the Gang Wars?
Yes.
And they basically tried to do like a PG-13 version of Oz. Like everybody was separated by race and fighting. That's what it was. It was a race war.
My favorite was The Ministry. I was a Viscera fan.
Nobody was.
No one was a Viscera fan. This is great. Okay, we're not going to keep talking wrestling because our regular fans are going to get upset. But we're going to do a wrestling show with you because I'm glad we found somebody else. You know, you ever notice like the wrestling thing is something you bring up, like you're buying drugs to people?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, hey, because if someone like kind of gets one of your wrestling references, you're like, hey, bro. Hey, we're getting a call.
Gluck.
See, someone's calling.
By
in.
the way, Gluck.
Hi, caller. Who's this? Caller. Hi, caller. Who's this?
I can't. I hate it.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah.
What's up?
I just had a quick question. So you guys are the ones who cover the Dan Schneider things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could talk about looking into, because there's like a conspiracy where people think that Dan Schneider is the father of Jamie Lynn Spears' baby. And have you guys talked about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier on. That's one of the more kind of known rumors that has been thrown around over the years. We don't have any.
We don't have any definitive proof. That's why all we could do is talk about it.
Yeah, and I can't. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go to jail. I'm not going to pull a Martin Shkreli and fucking put $5,000 out for a lock of her hair. It didn't work out too well for him.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So I don't. Look, I don't know if there's any veracity to that claim, but I do know that many people that we've talked to behind the scenes that are much more in the know than us have told us. Not about that specific rumor, but there's just that we are absolutely 100% dead on about this guy. So, from what we hear, man, it's gonna burst. It's gonna burst this year. It's probably gonna burst before the summer. I wish I had more specific information.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it happens before the spring, but We'll see. But
Thanks so much for calling in, man. What's your name?
Tyler.
All right, Tyler. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah.
So what we could do is I could hit up Brittany Spears, who was a regular at my restaurant that I managed, and be like,
There
"Hey,
it is.
give me some of your sister child's
DNA,
hair, please."
But you have to ask for DNA to make it sound even creepier. I want her DNA. What the fuck did you say for my sister? I will fucking kill you.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a gentle way to go about that.
I want your DNA, ho.
No. I want your child's DNA.
I want your child's DNA,
what
ho.
the fuck is wrong with you? And then we just read on the news that Gluck's getting arrested as a stalker.
Yeah.
He's all over TMZ, and we're like, oh, man, we really fucked this guy up, didn't we? I liked him. We gotta go, man. We gotta plug. We gotta shill Gluck. What do we got?
Plug your shit, dog.
At Real A Gluck on Twitter. But I posted your link in to your YouTube in the chat. But what's your Twitch?
It's actually in the chat.
Bam.
Oh, see, so there you go, man. Guys.
That's me typing right there, and YouTube link was there, as well as just a heads up. And I was going to ask you guys, but I saw who you're using. You're using Teespring. Me and Spectre, Sicko, whatever you want to call him. We've designed some shirts. We're going to start pumping out some merch sooner or later.
Okay. Are you doing it on Teespring?
We're probably going to do it on Teespring because that seems to be one of the easiest routes.
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. If you have trouble with it, let me know, because I was having a bitch for time with it for a while, but I got it figured out now, and it's great. Now we got people buying shit. I'm glad Gluck brought that up. If you guys buy one of our shirts and you have any kind of a project you want to promote, a website or a charity, you just got to buy one of our shirts. Send us a picture of you rocking the shirt and tell us what you want us to promote, and we'll do it. on
Real
the air.
A Gluck. I want everybody in Twitch right now to click on him and subscribe. I know how many people are in here. I'm going to do the fucking math, motherfuckers. So everyone click Real A Gluck, and I want you to follow him. He's a really smart dude and way better at me in video games. Way fucking better. What do you have? PS4, Xbox?
I play on PS4. I have an Xbox, and I have a rig, a PC. So
I play PS4.
I'm kind of all over the place.
I play PS4. Do you have Destiny 2?
I do.
Okay, we're gonna hop on. We're gonna play. I'm gonna talk to you offline. For
sure.
Thanks so much for being on, dude. You're on the bench. You're gonna be definitely in our wrestling show because
we
fucking love that.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
All right, man. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy, dude.
He's a good dude.
Oh, love him. He was great.
I'm glad we finally got him on.
Yeah, it was a while, but we finally got him on.
So we gotta do our own friggin' shilling now. So please subscribe, like us, 5 stars on iTunes, 5 stars on Facebook. Like and share our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Revenge of the Sis. Now the money situation. I'll tell you what, if you guys don't want to just donate, I get it, but we do have merch now. So if you actually look, we've got a link out there that you just check our Twitter, ROTC Media. And if you do want to donate, it's PayPal.me/We're Not Sorry for a one-time donation, or go to patreon.com. Give us a monthly subscription, and that is /We're Not Sorry as well. We will see you Monday with a new show. 3 days off. We have no show tomorrow. We'll miss you.
If you like the music in today's show, it was from C. Thomas Howell. That's SEE Thomas Howell, HOWL. Just search for him on Bandcamp. His music is great. Official music of ROTC. We will see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.